One Arabian fairy and 1,000 tales. Hello, my friends. I am Marwa, your storyteller, basket weaver, oriental dancer, painter, Arabic calligrapher, herbalist. In our world, no one is just one thing. Today we have many plant companions. We have the palm, pine, olive, willow, and banana trees. We have the Spanish broom, lavender, lemongrass, bamboo, corn husk, papyrus, and wheat straws. These are the fibers I weave. Previously, I shared about my love for herbalism and storytelling, so it only makes sense for me now to arrive at basket weaving. I feel it lives in my heart, right between these two passions. You know, there is so much value in learning about our ancestors. We discover seeds of dormant gifts we might be unknowingly carrying. When I set out to learn new skills, I arrived at weaving by chance, and much of my knowledge came from YouTube or books. And as I was weaving, I started researching my family, finding out that my grandmother and great-grandmother were weavers. It took me far beyond the technical aspect of weaving. In ancient times, basket weaving was more than a craft. It was a social occasion. People would come together to weave the plants they found in their environment. Their hands busy and their minds free to share stories, news, and songs. It was the best time to connect, weaving with hands, words, and laughter. Basket weaving blended storytelling and herbal wisdom, carrying the essence of the land. Baskets have their own identity, passed down from generation to another. Each region had its own plants, weaving patterns and colors. For example, in our region, they made baskets mainly from wheat straws and palm leaves. And in Palestine, baskets made with olive branches were also popular. These baskets carried our medicines, our vegetables, and more, helping our communities grow and bringing people together. Reflecting this tradition, I found myself opening my home to teach this enduring craft. Together, we made our own baskets, felt the earth in our hands, and took that connection home. Working with baskets and plants has deeply shifted my perspective on aging. In a world that often views aging, especially for women, as something to resist or fear. Through weaving, I have come to see aging as a natural and beautiful unfolding. As a basket changes its colors over time, softening or darkening, it becomes in my eyes more beautiful. It carries the memory of the hands that made it, the stories it held, and the lives it touched. It's a testament to how time adds depth and character. It builds up slowly and thoughtfully like a story, where all the elements come together at the end. This mirrors the human experience. As we age, we become gentler. We accumulate more wisdom, resilience, and grace. Aging, much like weaving, is an artful process. Over time, I've come to appreciate the role of baskets as a form of artistic expression, particularly for women. For centuries, decorating our homes with basketry was a way to express individuality, creativity, and care. These weren't just functional items. They were the fine art of a different time. They spoke of the hands that created them and their personal tastes. It was a language. Women wove their stories, their emotions, and their identities into the baskets, even without leaving a signature or a name on. And for me, this represents a feminist reclamation, an acknowledgement that these crafts were as meaningful as any sculpture or painting, holding within them the creativity and strength of generations of women. It is such a sweet feeling to make something with your own hands, going in circles in a perfect repetitive motion and wondering how you can give it your own creative touches. I taught kids and adults to play with weaving, and I got to witness the amazing progress someone makes when they try to learn something new, to slow down, find their own rhythm, and open themselves to mistakes. Personally, I learned to receive through teaching, believe it or not. There is so much love in the process. It fosters a consistent connection to each other and the natural environment around us. The workshops I conducted in different spaces in Lebanon were truly inspiring for me. Gathering in circles, meditating with nature's gifts, and leaving with something we made from scratch was deeply fulfilling. I will share with you some of my students' creations. I often feel that weaving is a form of architecture, building structures that hold space. This process feels profound to me. When I weave, I am constructing walls around empty space. Yet it's the emptiness itself that holds so much potential. This duality, the tangible and the intangible, taught me that what we build around absence can create meaning just as much as the material itself. At the same time, weaving with different materials carried its own meanings. Each material brought its own character and story into the basket. When I worked with pine needles, for instance, their fragility and delicacy required patience. Soaking them in water to make them pliable, I'd inhale the subtle scent of pine resin, which always lingered on my fingers. The process was fine and intricate. On the other hand, weaving with Spanish broom was an entirely different experience. The strands are strong, thick, and fragrant, carrying a fresh, grassy aroma. This material demands more strength, pulling and tugging, to shape it into form. Then there's palm and banana fibers, with their own unique flexibility and earthy tones. Every material had its own rhythm, its own smell, its own way of being worked. Weaving became a rich sensory experience for me. It motivates me to know more about my environment, to adapt, to listen to what each fiber needed, and to embrace the beauty of how different strengths and vulnerabilities come together to create something whole and beautiful. Now, reading this amazing book, Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Kimmer, brought a new dimension to my work with baskets. Learning from Native American communities how to approach plants and carry their teachings added depth to my practice. I would like to share a few lines from this book. Quote, "There is such tenderness in braiding the hair of someone you love. Kindness and something more flow between the braider and the braided, the two connected by the cord of the plait. Sweet grass waves in strands, long and shining like a woman's freshly washed hair. And so we say it is the flowing hair of Mother Earth. When we braid sweet grass, we are braiding the hair of Mother Earth, showing her our loving attention, our care for her beauty and well-being, in gratitude for all she has given us." End quote. My basket weaving studio, Ashilaffe, which I created in 2019, serves as a lab for creative weaving. I made baskets, accessories, lampshades, and ornaments. I collected beautiful traditional baskets from my grandmother and other sources, and I got to try exchanging as well, trading my baskets for other handmade goods. Once I traded for herbal medicine and another time for a notebook. I felt this makes me more comfortable than selling them. From finding the right fibers, to preparing the materials, to designing the shapes, none of this was planned. It feels as if the plants themselves guided this whole path. I participated in festivals, arranged workshops, and was interviewed by newspapers and on TV. And speaking publicly wasn't one of my strengths, honestly. But somehow I managed to find the right words, as if the plants are speaking through me. I haven't been weaving as much recently, but whenever I return to it, I'm amazed by how the memory is still there in my hands. I'll leave the link to the basket weaving project in the description box if you'd like to check it out. Until next time, so much love to all.